and gentlemen, welcome to the Raw Leadership Talk. When it's Tuesday, it's the Raw Leadership Talk, and we keep it raw here. Where are you joining us from? Today, together with Sureya Hersi, we sink deeper into the topic of discussion on leadership and development. Leadership and development. And we want you to engage with us in this wonderful discussion about leadership and development. Tell us where you're watching us from and engage with us. In a moment, we shall begin the discussion of the day. Where are you and where are you joining us from? We would like to hear from you. As we listen to Honda Messiah Water Music, welcome to the Raw Leadership Talk. Every Tuesday, we keep it raw, right here. Raw Leadership Talk is brought to you by the Africa Center for Public Speaking. And you can tune in live and watch us from Facebook, from YouTube, and also on our page at the Africa Center for Public Speaking page on Facebook. Great to see you, great to connect with you. In a moment, we'll sink deeper to the discussion of the day. Thank you very much. Let's go to the discussion of the day. Welcome, Sureya. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you, Mr. Mugera. Thanks for having me here today, all the way from Mombasa.
Good to see you. Sureya is joining us from Mombasa County. And today, our topic is leadership and development. Leadership and development. Most of us, we have a lot of ideas when it comes to leadership and when it comes to development. But today, we want to sink deeper into this discussion, and you can engage with us on your thoughts as far as leadership and development is concerned. And to help us in this is Sureya Hersi, who is a women rights advocate. And today, she will be helping us in this particular discussion. Sureya, in your perspective, what is leadership?
Thank you, Don. In my perspective, I think leadership, or who is a leader, is basically somebody who has an ability to influence, somebody who has an ability to guide, to be able to give direction. It could be an individual, it could be probably within an institution, and basically to create a platform for some actions to take place. Yes.
Thank you. Wonderful definition there as far as leadership and a leader is concerned. Is it really the responsibility of leaders to bring development, Sureya? What are your thoughts on this?
I think basically a leader is not supposed to bring development directly, but I think the leader's responsibility basically is to create teams. Is to create teams that can be able to have an impact, to create teams that can be able to delegate or coordinate and be able to mobilize resources. A leader is basically a catalyst. It's basically a catalyst to influence some of the decisions so that an impact or the direct action can be able to be taken. So I don't think it's the responsibility of the leader to bring development, but basically to influence and to be able to support a process so that the participants, the stakeholders can be able to take action and be able to do what they're supposed to do.
In the same perspective then, following your argument, Sureya, that it's not really the responsibility of the leader to bring development directly, do you think that a leader or the leader can hinder development?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. As I said, leaders mobilize resources, leaders delegate authority, leaders coordinate people, they create teams. So imagine in a scenario where we have a leader who does not give authority, who does
Mhm.
not delegate duties, who wants to do everything themselves, who wants to be the custodian of everything. By the end of the day, an individual cannot do much. You need a team that is properly networked, a team that is imparted with the authority, that has been delegated, that has responsibility, and they can be able to achieve what they need to achieve. So I think it's a two-way traffic. He can hinder, absolutely, but he does not. You cannot guarantee that he can actually bring full development to the community, for example.
Wonderful thoughts, wonderful thoughts. Now, do our Kenyan leaders, and especially the leaders from the coast region, prioritize development? I don't know, what are your thoughts on this? Do our Kenyan leaders, and especially the leaders from the coast region, prioritize development?
I think we have a challenge in trying to identify what are our priorities. Because when you
Mhm.
speak to different leaders, they will tell you different things. Others will talk about education. Others will tell you we don't have infrastructure. Others will tell you we don't have water. But the bottom line, I think what they really need to do is really to understand the core issues and the roots of the real problems within a setup. So
Mhm.
many a times, I don't think we prioritize our development. Sometimes it's not even demand driven, but
Yeah.
it's probably interest driven. You take things that you think is what the community wants, instead of
Mhm.
really trying to engage the community. Probably let them actually say what their problems are, so that you can be
Mhm.
able to influence and you can be able to delegate and make sure that whatever development they want, they can be able to achieve. So many a times, I think the biggest challenge we have is prioritization. And maybe sometimes this happens when we don't do our needs assessment or we don't do a baseline survey. We just get elected, you go to a community and you start working. Just because you have CDF has directed you, you can put up police stations. Then sometimes you can go to an area where they have a lot of other issues. But because the money that has been allocated is for a specific activity, for example, you can
Yes.
only build chief's offices or a police station using CDF money. So if that's not
Mhm.
our demand, if that's not our need in our community, so how is that
Mhm.
going to solve the problem? So I think it's something that really needs to be looked into. There's need to have a needs assessment of a certain community. There's need to
Mhm.
understand where we are and where we want to move to, so that we can be able to plan the development agenda. So most of the times, I think we get it wrong. We really get it wrong.
Mhm. And in relation now specifically the to the coast region, uh,
Yes.
in your own assessment, what would you think are the major problems that need to be tackled?
I think cost problems has one issue. The main issue is lack of unity. And lack of unity has been brought about by lack of trust. And lack of trust has come in because maybe in the past we've not had credible leadership. We've
Yes.
had leaders who have not delivered. We have leaders who have been implicated in scams, in corruption, and things like that. So that
Mhm.
has brought a lot of mistrust. And because of that, the unity is also something that is evading us. Because for us to be able to have a development agenda, we need to speak
Yes.
with one voice. We cannot be pulling from different directions. So I think that
Mhm.
is one thing that has lacked in cost. We all seems to be serving different interests. We all,
Yes.
because of the diversity, we also look at where we are coming from. Sometimes our tribes dictate the policies we are putting in place, which is very unfortunate, instead of
Mhm.
looking at some of the really issues that we have on the ground. So I think that has been the challenge in Coast Province. We are yet to see a unified coast that speaks to
Mhm.
one agenda, because by the end of the day, if you check from Lamu all the way to Taita, we have similar problems. Poverty is one thing. Lack of food is another issue. Lack of unemployment, the issues of education. So our issues are cross-cutting, but we don't seem to be speaking the same language. We seem to be pulling different directions, and I think that has been the challenge in Coast Province.
Wonderful, wonderful thoughts right there. Bishop Michael Huru watching from Tongwe says, good discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, you can engage with us in this discussion. You can throw in your thoughts. What do you think about leadership and development? Are we moving in the right direction as a country? Do you think our leaders prioritize development? And do you engage as a person in the development of your community, your ward, your constituency, your county, your country? And how do you engage? Sureya, as a women's rights advocate, do
Yes.
you think women are keen on the development agenda?
To be honest, Dan, I'm not going I'm not going to answer this question by the fact that I am an advocate for women leadership.
Yes.
But the truth is, women have surpassed expectations. Women have proved to be good leaders. In the few places that we've had them taking charge, I think they have performed very well. And by the fact that they're caregivers, they are providers in their homes, they are nurturers, they're mothers, they're teachers in their own rights. They really know what the needs of the people, the children, the community are. For example, if we have issues in the community where we have in areas where we don't have water, for example, if there's anybody who has to travel long distance in search of this commodity, is the woman. Because by the end of the day, she has to take care of the house, she has to take care of the kids, she has to provide for the family. In terms of economic empowerment, for example, you discover that women, in their own small ways, have all been members of chamas in one way or the other.
Yes.
And most of the times, they don't call themselves business people. But in reality, all women are business people because they do all sorts of businesses to be able to supplement the little income that let's say the husbands or the fathers provide in their homes. So I think they really know what the needs are, and I think they've been in the forefront of trying to be part and parcel of bringing development within their community setup.
Yeah. So, well, in this regard, then, why don't women mobilize themselves and push each other to take leadership position from every sector, so to say, and especially political leadership? Seeing that women have strong organizational skills, they have tested the ground and they have great ground mobilization skills, why don't they then push each other to take particular positions so that they may be able to be more influential in matters leadership and development?
Dan, I think there's this narrative that women are their worst enemies. I think it's a narrative that has been
propagated. Do you think that's true?
It's not true. It's a narrative that has been used time and again so that women can be divided, so that, there's this story. I mean, if we are more than 50%, why can't we even have a president? Because we can do it. We have the numbers. But unfortunately, there's more to it than just having the numbers. I think it's about issues of economic empowerment. It's issues about electoral policies, because by the end of the day, we don't have an equal ground that women can compete favorably. Kenyan politics today is being led by political parties, and political parties are being managed by men. So many a times, for you to be able to get that ticket to vie for a political position, sometimes you really have to be able to engage, to be able to fight for your space, so that you can fight for the same position that the man is also fighting for. And because we don't run the political parties, so we are at a disadvantage. When men make decisions at midnight, women are busy taking care of kids at home. Decisions are made at times when women are not there. So we tend to lose a lot. We also don't have the financial muscles, because you need money for politics. And many a times, our priorities would be geared towards supporting our families, trying to provide for food, put food on the table, the basics, health, the requirement. So it really takes a lot of willpower for women to get out, fight for political positions where they have to fight electoral violence, where they have to fight political violence, where they have to make sure that finances is not hindering them from getting elected. And of course, we still are in patriarchal society, where women leadership is not per se, advocated, but because we have very many good men out there who are educated, but at the
Yes.
back of their minds, they still believe that a woman's place is in the kitchen. They have not believed that women are capable, women can actually sit on the table and make decisions. But we have seen time and again that many positions that women have been given, they have excelled. And they don't go far. Just look at this country. You look at most of these commissions that are being led by women, I think they're doing exceptional well. We just need more spaces. We need to be given an equal playing ground so that we can be able to bring more women on leadership positions.
Wonderful thoughts right there, Bernard, saying, following from Mombasa County. And Sureya, as we bring this discussion to a close, what would you like to see leaders focus in to bring change to our country? What would you like to see leaders focus in to bring change to our country?
Done 10 years ago, we got devolution. We've been fighting for resources to come to the ground. Unfortunately, 10 years down the line, we have not seen the impact of devolution.
Yeah, because Sureya, devolution has become, devolved corruption. So they
say. Absolutely. That's the narrative now. People have devolved corruption. The money has now gone to the ground, but it's not doing what it's supposed to do. So I think one thing we need to do, we need accountable leadership. We need the leaders, the members of parliament, the governors, the senators who are supposed to be supervising expenditure in our counties to do their job, because they're not being accountable. We tend to close our ears and eyes to the corruption that is happening on the ground because we have resources, but it's not impacting positively on the lives of Kenyans. So I think this is something that we really need to push, that we need to have leaders who are accountable. Another thing that we really need to push for is inclusivity. Kenya has become very diversified in terms of ethnicity, in terms of economic power, in terms of even education levels, for example. I think we need leaders who can bring everybody on board, because we have people with diverse abilities. We need to stop being tribal. We need to stop being discriminate or divide leadership, where we divide people and we take the ones who are talking our language or the ones who are singing our songs to be able to bring them on board. I think we need to have an inclusive leadership style, so that we have everybody on board, so that everybody feels like they are part and parcel of the development process, and they can own whatever development is happening, and they can take responsibility for the same. I think that's very important, that we need our leadership to do moving forward.
Thank you very much. What a discussion right there on leadership and development. And I want to hope, if you've been following us, you are going home with something today in relation to this whole topic of leadership and development. And it's been a wonderful opportunity to host Sureya Hersi, a women's rights advocate who is based in Mombasa County. And everything that has a beginning has an end. Today we bring this show at this juncture to an end. Until next time, every Tuesday at this place, the Raw Leadership Talk comes to you to educate you, to inspire you, to provoke you to take an opportunity, understanding that leadership is not really position or title, but leadership is influence. And you and me, we can play our part in every way as citizens of this country to participate as influencers in leading people in the right direction. So may God bless you, and see you next time, same place on this platform. Good evening.
Good evening.